Hey, folks, good afternoon. It is 3 p.m. here in Texas. And Dr. Priya, what time is it over there?
It's 7 a.m.
Oh
on
my
the
gosh.
10th of February in Australia.
Wow, this is one of our first times ever moving a lot of our events to cater to the Australian time zone. So I'm super excited about it. For those of you that are just trickling in, we are getting ready to do our 2 day workshop with Dr. Priya. And we met her, I want to say maybe 2 or 3 years ago now, I feel like. And she's been one of our speakers at multiple events. We had you speak at was it the Dubai event or the London event?
Sydney. Sydney.
Sydney. Okay, okay, yeah. So Sydney, as well as Level Up in Dallas, and Dr. Priya has an academic background. She got into digital marketing, many moons ago, and she's been one of our strongest advocates in our community. Someone a lot of people are rallying around, especially in the Australian market. For first of all, thanks for saying yes to us on this 2 day workshop.
Thank you so much for asking me, Paulson. This is super exciting. I'm super excited to be here.
Awesome. So, for those of you that are watching, tell us where you're checking in from. If we can see that engagement in the comments and the areas wherever you're live, whether you're watching from YouTube. Right now, we're live on LinkedIn, X, Twitch, as well as Facebook. So, wherever you are, love to know where you're checking in from. Tell us what city or state or region you're in. We're excited to get this party started. We've got a lot to share with you. But before we go any further, everything we teach should be taken as inspiration. We're not going to imply that you're going to go make a bunch of money. Just from a disclaimer standpoint, we're going to share a lot of experiences and things like that, but it should be taken as inspiration. Um, if you want to give us, I think your camera just went out, Dr. Priya.
Is it
Um,
okay now?
it's
Yeah.
okay now. Yeah. So for those of you that are watching, can I get some feedback? How's our audio? How's our video? Are you able to see us? Well, obviously you can hear me because people are putting in some comments. Give me a one in the chat if, or a 10 in the chat if you are good to go with our audio and video. Dr. Priya, how did you hear about High Level? What is your journey to High Level?
Okay, I got introduced to High Level through one of my girlfriend. She was into Facebook ads, and then she got drifted into the world of MLM. And I kept telling her, Facebook ads is such a great skill set. Why would you want to go into MLM? And then she vanished, like literally, she became invisible. And when I went to Sydney for an event, I met with her, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" And then she showed me this platform, and I just couldn't sleep. I still remember the date I signed up for the free trial, April of 26, 2024. So not long ago. And it's been such a journey and it's changed my life. It's changed thousands of people that I know of. And that's why I've become a very, very strong advocate. Because, from a personal branding perspective, from a business perspective, it is a huge risk you channeling your entire marketing and branding on one platform, right? So
It is.
I think for me now I feel it's not even a risk factor anymore. It has just added so much credibility to my personal brand. It's added so much value, impact, influence, income, everything that you can think of. Um, so yeah, so that's how I got introduced to High Level. It solved one clear problem for me. I was doing done for you social media marketing using 10 different tools, and using High Level solved that one problem. And I started with just that one feature, social planner. And like, I mean, I think the email campaign for this workshop was a perfect example. And thank you for reminding me that I was a scientist in my past life. So it was good to read about those, from a different lens. So I definitely think, making the switch was totally worth it. And because I focused on that one feature, I was able to move, five of my current clients. And I didn't know there was a $97 plan. Now I'm thinking, oh my God, I didn't even realize I went straight to 297. But it's been such a game changer. Like everybody who's starting out today. A lot of people think you're too late to the party, the market is saturated. And Paulson, you will remember in Dallas, they said only 7% of the population uses chat gpt, and that stats blew my mind. I'm like, if 7% using it from the world, you can imagine high level, we are just getting started, people. So don't feel that you've missed out, it's too late. It's very, very early, and we can still capture the entire market.
I love it. And I know you were a rock star at Level Up Conference. We had raving reviews about your sessions and things like that. Same thing with the one in Sydney as well. How was your experience in person meeting a lot of the people in the community of High Level?
It's great. These in-person events, all you need is just one nugget, because you get to listen to so many different speakers, amazing experience. They collapse their multiple years of their learnings and challenges and failures and wins in a 45-minute presentation. So each and every one of you right now spending 2 hours with us today, I want you to take the message and implement it, because without implementation, advice is free. Like, you can sit on such workshops every day of your life and still not focus on signing clients because you're not focusing on implementation. And my friend Nick Pap tells me, I am a heavy hitter. My presentation needs a lot of focus. People just can't listen. So I think this workshop is a perfect way for me to actually teach so they can take action. So I think I've really put a lot of thought into this workshop. I do not like the S word, Paulson.
What is the S
Snapshots.
word? Oh,
Snapshots. So I am not really a fan of snapshots. It is not designed to do everybody's requirement. It's not designed, it's a one size fits all kind of a mindset. But when I thought about this workshop, I wanted to really give people something that they can get started, they can just implement straight away. So I had to get out of my head and not hate the S word, and start crafting a snapshot that'll actually help people to get started. So it's going to be super valuable. I promise you 2 days of massive value wherever you are in your business today. If you've not started a free trial, then within your free trial, how can you sign clients? Because that's literally my story, right? So how can you do that? And like, there's a disclaimer, legal disclaimer, all these results are not promised. Obviously, this is my personal experience. Depending on where you are and what you are, you can literally surpass my results very quickly. And all these workshops and master classes and all the learnings are designed to shorten your learning curve and help you to give that push and that nudge to take action. So I'll do everything in my capacity to help you to take action. So whatever you want, just ask.
I love it. So without any further ado, if you want to share your screen, I'll make sure the stream it is visible on the stream. So
Sure.
at the very bottom, there's a little computer icon. You can click that.
Yeah.
It'll allow me to share the screen that you're sharing.
I just have
And
200 screens and windows open. I hope I'm sharing the right screen.
there it is.
Can you see
Yeah,
my?
yeah, perfect. So if you
Okay.
want to go, yeah, there you go. Awesome.
All right. So if I want to look at the chat, maybe I'll have to keep the chat windows over here.
Yeah,
Okay. So that way I can monitor the chat too.
sweet. Perfect.
All right. Can you see my
Yeah,
screen,
I can
Paulson?
see it.
All right, everyone, are we ready? I want engaged audience. Please, I'm old school. As much as I love my laptop, I love my Remarkable. I still love to take notes, scribble with notepads, whatever is your style. Please start making notes. Write about your to-do list. Like, what am I going to do today? Okay, this step I'm going to implement today. It's going to be simple, bite-sized. I'll try not to fry your brain. I am, usually known to overload information, but it's just from a place of giving you as much as I can. So, welcome. I want to officially welcome you all to the 2 day workshop where we're going to build a sales and retention machine. So, I'm going to say why I am so interested in sales and how it all started. Not too much about me, but it just to give you an idea. If I can do it, you can do it too. That's the only message I want you to take from this presentation. I'm a self-taught marketer. Today, I'm a certified, admin with HighLevel, but that's not where I started. So if I can do it, you can do it too. Okay. All right. So the first day today, we're going to look at the sales machine. We're going to look at all the strategies that will help you to attract your ideal clients. I focus on something called attraction marketing. I don't do now we do a lot of cold email campaigns, but for the past 5 years, never done cold email. It was more like, you post contents, you position yourself in such a way that you get attracted to the right prospect and they reach out to you. Okay. And then how do you sell? Because without that's the only evidence that your whatever offer you have is working. When people are ready to swipe their cards, that's when we can basically have that acknowledgement that it works. So we're going to look at all the sales machine. I'm going to give you the strategies. I'm going to walk you through the snapshots, and we are going to get started. It's super fun. Now, once you start selling, the first goal is 10 to 20 clients, right? This is basically a consolidation of my Sydney SaaSpreneur talk and my Dallas. So Sydney was all about, how to get your 10 to 20 clients. And then Dallas was all about SaaS retention. How do you retain? Because retention is where you scale, you make a lot of money. And I'm going to give you case studies on how I did that. And I'm also give you other examples on how you can implement too. So, okay, so let's get started with the sales machine. So I just want to understand so I can have relevant examples. So it's not a fixed template that I'm going to walk you through. I'm going to see who's in the room. So if you're an agency owner, currently type one in the chat for me. If you're a business owner who wants to use HighLevel for your business, type two. And if you're just getting started, you're still trying to figure out whether HighLevel is for you, type three in the chat for me. So I know who is in the room, and we can actually um, customize our
We've
talk
got a
for
we've got a
people.
few people asking if we're actually live right now, and I'm telling you, Dr. Priya woke up 7 a.m. in Australia to make sure we do this live. Man,
We are definitely live. Okay, so we've got a very, very mixed audience. So we've got number ones, we've got number twos, we've got one and two. Okay, that's a perfect combo. And then we've got threes.
yeah,
Okay, one and two and three. Okay, so we've got pretty much different types of people. That's perfect because whatever we're going to teach today, it kind of fits into all three categories. If you're just getting started, then you've got all the snapshots and templates and everything for you to plug and get started straight away. And every agency owner, again, falls under the business owner. That's why I feel one and two is a perfect combo. You need to build your own business and get clients, and also help your other agency, clients to get more leads. So we're going to do pretty much cover strategies for all three. Okay.
love it.
All right. And I believe all of us start with this dream number, 10K. So 10K seems to be the number. Am I right,
This is
Paulson?
true. For somehow that is the imaginary threshold. A lot of the a lot of the agencies or freelancers that are starting out want to get to. I don't know how that came to be, honestly, but it is true. It is
Yeah.
true.
So we're going to target this golden number. Okay. So 10K MRR, I started my journey thinking, oh, 10K, that's my dream number. And if you use the platform right, if you have the right offers, the 10K becomes pretty achievable. Okay. I don't want to overpromise. This is not an income claim, but if you do the work right, then this 10K becomes very much doable. I mean, I want to remind all of us still operate from our primal caveman human brain that operates from safety and scarcity. So, if you just tell your caveman brain to shut up, pretty much you will be able to achieve anything. So, I'm going to not do a huge motivational talk, but I just want to tell you, if your brain is telling you that this is not possible or it's very hard, that's just your caveman brain. Just slap it out and start taking action. So we're going to look at strategies on different prices, different offers that you can sell, where 10K becomes very, very achievable on a recurring basis. That's why it's MRR, because one month you can hit the jackpot, 10K, and the next month, I don't want you to sweat. How are you going to pay your bills? So we're going to look at retention strategies tomorrow on how to retain this 10K. Okay. All right. So, why am I doing this workshop? How am I qualified to do this workshop? Who the hell am I? Right. Literally, this was me, right? Sitting in the corner in Brisbane, have my blinders on, just put my hands on my keyboard, working full time. And then I got a DM from a random person on Facebook. They didn't even have a Facebook display picture saying, "We are planning an event in Sydney, Priya, and we would love for you to be the keynote speaker at HighLevel." I was like, yeah, right. It was a scam. And I ignored that message. And then I got the official Go High Level calendar to book. And after Saspana Sydney, is when literally my name changed from who the hell is Priya to okay, I know Priya, right? So obviously the DR two letters prefix to my name is because I spent 5 years of my prime time to fulfill the unfulfilled wishes of my parents. So fun fact, every Indian kid is a doctor or an engineer. Paulson, you must know
Yeah.
that.
All
So
all my
I
cousins,
was
all
that.
my cousins. I'm the black sheep.
Exactly. So I was the black sheep until I was like, okay, let me just fulfill it. So I did not get the marks good enough for a clinical MBBS doctor. So I got my PhD in bioinformatics, which is biotechnology done on computers. Just a lazy Indian girl who didn't want to wash butter plates and test tubes. That was me in my past life. See that from a very, very traditional academic career path. Due to some midlife crisis, my husband met with an industrial accident when my son was born on his sixth day. Like my son was 6 years, 6 days old, and my husband met with an industrial accident. Both legs multiple fractured. So we went through a midlife crisis where we did not have an option to continue our life in India with mortgage and stuff. So we had two options: Canada or Australia. Australia had a very structured immigration pathway, and we moved, I think, 10 years ago. So one big aha moment in after moving to Australia was time equals money. In the other side of the world, we got paid per month, a fixed salary per month, whereas here in the Western world, every ticking hour had a dollar value. So I tried to maximize it. I got sucked into the ClickFunnels world, social media marketing course by Ty Lopez. So I did all of that. So another thing that you will quickly realize when you start this journey, as much as you realize time equals money and you start trading time for money, time is a very, very finite resource. So the next stage, once you start making a little bit of money, not a lot, you will understand, how do I scale this without killing myself? How do I scale this without breaking my marriage? Right. So that's how I got introduced to high level. Like I was talking to Paulson at the start, I was literally doing done for you social media marketing. So I was a business coaching, and my brain does not believe that I can invoice people for business coaching. Okay. So this is another interesting fact. It's not that there's no money in coaching. I just didn't believe in it. Okay. So whatever you believe is right. Today, if you're sitting here and thinking, I can make 10K next month, you're right. If you think I can never make $10,000 in a month, you're right. Whatever you believe about you is right. So back then, I thought for business coaching, I cannot invoice people for a feel good factor. Okay. So I needed some tangible KPIs. So I kind of made my offer in such a way that I was coaching, and I had my team to implement marketing. So my tagline was a business coach who does marketing for you. So my approach is always very, very selfish, meaning I want to get results for my clients. What can I do to get results for my clients? I don't have boundaries. I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing that I'm saying it out so open. I don't have boundaries. If I think about something at 12 o'clock midnight, I'll be texting my clients like, hey, I just thought about this. this. Maybe we should do this for this webinar. So it shows how much, you always think about your clients. That's one thing that I struggle with. Yeah, I can't shut my brain. But when you think for your clients, when you think in their best interest, you kind of build a partnership. It's no longer just a client relationship. And I'll tell you how that fits into the whole high level growth flywheel, that you will start retaining more clients, but you infuse your own style and things to it. Okay. So yeah, so I don't want to go too much into it, but I just want to say I started with high level with just one feature, social planner. Okay. I think Michael Reamer told me there are 673 features that we can sell. Please correct me, Paulson, if I'm wrong. There's so many features, right?
It's definitely more than one.
Yeah. Yeah. There are multiple features, and every person who signs up to high level, this is the biggest thing that we say is they get confused on what they can sell. Which one do I start? Priya, how do I sign my clients? Everybody goes into flashy AI. I love AI, don't get me wrong. But if you can't see what problem the tool can solve for your clients, then you cannot make them swipe their cards for just a fancy AI. So these 2 days workshop will be the foundation for anything you're trying to launch and sell and scale. Okay. So you can add layers of AI to fancy them. But first, we need evidence. We need people to tap their cards and pay. So, how do you do that? You get the foundations right. When people come to me for fancy stuff, I'm like, let's look at your foundation. Let's build your foundation right, and then we can make it all pretty. All right. Are you in? So if you're looking for get rich quick, just plug something and sell some fancy AI, probably this workshop might not give you that bit. But if you're looking for a solid foundation to understand how to price your products, how to position your authority in the online and offline world, how do you get leads, how do you sell, how do you retain, those foundational skills we're going to build 2 days. Are you ready? Okay, cool.
Yes.
All right. So this is another, important thing of my business model is a profit with purpose model, right? Where I've got a model where I train Indian women to become financially independent. So this was part of my why I do what I do. And I think your clients will align when you have a bigger purpose. Okay, so the primary thing why they want to pay and work with you is because you can solve their problem, period. Okay, they've got a problem and you've got a solution, you can solve their problem. But apart from that, for them to have that long-term relationship, if there is a purpose that they feel that they're aligned to, they're contributing to, then there is a bigger value. So when people come to these in-person events like Level Up, where we had 1,500 people, and Sydney and everywhere, there are very few people in the community who've got a very scarcity mindset, thinking, oh, all of us use high level, meaning everyone is a competitor for me. I'm competing against everyone in the room. That's not right. No one is a competitor to anyone. Right? Because just because we all have access to the same platform, it doesn't mean we compete against each other. So everyone wants to do business with somebody just because they align with their values, they know, like, and trust. If you can find a unique selling proposition, like if there are 10 people who are all high level agency owners, why should they pick you? You should have something tangible to say that. Okay, so this is your homework. First homework, think about your USP, unique selling proposition. If everybody does Facebook ads, why should someone choose you over your competitors? That's your first point to find out your point of difference. This is where most people struggle with. Most people tell me all the wishy-washy stuff. Oh, I pick up the phone and talk to my clients. I answer all the emails. I care about my clients. I'm like, that's the bare basic thing you have to do when someone pays you, right? So that's not an USP. So for it to be an USP, what are the different things that positions you, above your competitors? That's what I want you to find out. That's what I want you to write down. It might be a little tricky at the start, but as you go, as you keep doing things, you will find out. Okay, so this is our journey. In the past 2 years, we've helped hundreds of clients. We've helped clients generate more than $2 million in revenue in every niche. I still struggle to niche down. So if you're one of that person who's struggling to niche down, it's okay. I would say it's okay. It's my personal experience. Others say niche down. There's riches in the niches. All that is true, but I still haven't found a core niche that I want to niche down into. So my niche is probably high level. Anything in the high level world, I can do it, right? So, yeah. So, and keynotes and talks, I'm going to be speaking in India as well. So that's been a great journey. Okay, so this is what is going to be our focus for today. Okay, so we are going to find out what are the different strategies to get to the 10K MRR. So,
Can we do a quick temperature check in the room when it comes to how close people are to the 10K mark? How many of you are close to the 10K mark? Type in 10K in the chat if you feel like you're kind of close to the 10K a month mark. Maybe that is the aspiring North Star you're looking at in today's world. Maybe you're someone that's doing 100K a month. I would love to kind of understand where you all are in the chat of your monthly recurring revenue. Maybe some of you have one-time projects and you're close to 10K and you're like, hey man, I want to switch closer to a recurring. uh, I love Mark. He said not even close, which is great. That's why we're all here together. Let's
that's right.
see. We've got a few people saying 4K. O'Neill says 10 to 12K. Someone says they're close to 10K. Okay. Someone says I haven't started. See, this is a perfect place to be vulnerable and share because the community of high level, it's not a competitive landscape. This is where you have a lot of cheerleaders cheering you on, giving you insights, telling you what to do, what not to do, in hitting your goals. Okay. Jordan says 7K. Alfred says he's at 10K now. Someone says goal is 100K. I launched these case studies about a month and a half ago, Dr. Priya, and I've been flying to different cities all over the US to meet with people. And I'm realizing there are a lot of people doing multi 6 to 7 figures with a simple offer. I just recently met a guy who's just providing reviews and he's doing 25 to 30 grand a month, just reviews by itself down in Florida. We were just getting ready to get this, just scheduling all done. And we're meeting people like that are just, you don't see them in the community. You're not going to see them on a webinar, but we know there's proof in the pudding of what you're teaching. So keep going, Dr. Priya. I just wanted to get a good temperature check of where people are financially.
Thank you for that, Paulson. And like you mentioned, if any of you are planning to attend any of the high level events, focus on the guy with the simple t-shirt in the corner. Like those are like, trust me, Paulson, at Dallas and Sydney, the quiet ones in the corner, there was a guy who was making 400K a month, and I didn't know him. He doesn't know about awards. He didn't want to apply for awards. He didn't want to tell people how much he was doing. You know how people's priorities are different, right? And we had such a great conversation, and I learned a lot about Australian taxes and why he quit Australia for good. But there's so much you can learn from people, and there's so many amazing stories. And
Yeah.
those stories, when you feature, it's only to reassure people that if they can do it, you can do it too, right? So, like people in the chat, if you want to achieve whatever number you want, like I never thought 100K would be possible in my life. Okay. So, when I quit my six-figure job, I was in a very well paid university six-figure job, and I quit my full-time job when my business was making 18K all up. So you can imagine, from 18,000 to 100,000 looked like a massive number to achieve. Okay. And it is a massive number. Don't get me wrong. I would not say it was easy, right? It took me
Mhm.
18 months to match my salary, what I was making in my full time job. But then quickly, when you hit that first six figure, then after that, it becomes, easy, or you get used to the system, or, you just make that framework work. All right. Cool. Yeah, we've got lots of philosophy in the comments. Let's keep going.
You want to
Uh,
click on share again? I
yeah.
can. There you go. Perfect.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, cool. All right. So these are little things, different things, what we do that compounds to help with our MRR. The very first thing, like I said, I started with is done for you social media marketing, which is not the traditional SaaS model. So after it took me 18 months to get into the SaaS world. Until then, I was more of a SaaS software with a service. Like Paulson mentioned, I know people just with reputation management who make loads of money, right? It's that one service that they offer along with the software. So you decide how you want your business model to be. There is no one size fits all, and you will see so many different people doing different things. So there's no right or wrong way to do things. Whatever I'm sharing is my journey. That's not the only way to do things. Okay, you could
Right.
pick and choose whatever you like from my approach and just implement it in your style. And that's what makes you unique. Okay, if you're just going to copy a snapshot and just do it, you're going to be among the thousand people who are going to do it. Always infuse your own style, personality, values. That's very, very important. What do you stand for? And because people can see through the value that you stand for, and then they become a long-term relationship. So software with a service, pick just one. It could be social planner, it could be reputation management, it could be, I don't know, missed call text back is a big thing in the US. When I started, missed call text back was huge. And Australia is a different market. And I want to point out the country you live in, the demographic and their psychographic is very, very important for you when you're selling. So when I went and pitched missed call text back to tradies in Australia, they were laughing at me. They're like, Priya, I'm not answering the calls because I don't need them. Okay, there's no shortage of leads. So America is a very different market. They're very, very open to sales. They love salesy. It's very capitalist approach, whereas Australia is a very different market. Okay, so we
Yeah.
are very different. So when you're trying to sell, it's also important to understand these cultural nuances and difference in the demographic where you're selling. So, whatever you're doing, if you can bundle that one service, what you offer with the software, it becomes powerful. It was interesting. I found one of my client who has, an agency with 94 sub accounts. It's agency, 94 sub accounts, and the MRR was 121,000. They're based here in Queensland. And I went in, I could see anything happening in high level. Their clients don't log into high level, they were just operating the reputation management out of high level, but the actual MRR was from website hosting and SEO and whatever, but nothing was inside high level. But they just operated the reputation management aspect because they were paying bird eye $400 just for reputation management. You see how it was just that one problem they wanted solved, right? But then the MRR could compound because they stopped paying another subscription $400 just for that one feature, but they were paying only 297 US for 94 sub accounts, right? So always see what one problem you can solve to get your foot in the door. That's always my approach. You don't sell the whole software. Okay, try how you can get your foot in the door, and the client will exactly tell you what they want. You just have to listen carefully, right? So that's your first way to make money or sign clients or do anything, is offer a service what will solve their problem and give them quick wins, the low hanging fruit. So software with a service is kind of the easiest way to get that, right? And then setup fee. So this is how we do and we make money with our MRR. There's always a setup fee when it comes to setting up something. It could be setting up a funnel, it could be setting up a webinar, it could be setting up a whole event. So depending on what they want, there's always a one-off setup fee where we write the scope, we divide it into phases, we charge 50% upfront, deliver the phase one deliverables, and then invoice for phase two, and then we deliver phase two, and then charge them an ongoing subscription for the CRM, and then obviously the upsell. Tomorrow, you don't want to miss tomorrow's session where I'm going to walk you through an entire audit that'll help you to look at the client's business from a bird's eye perspective, from a big picture perspective, and will tell you the things how you can spot the upsells and retainers. So that'll help you to make more money from current clients. So your client acquisition cost becomes minimum, and you can start making more money. So out of these four, what do you think is doable today? In the chat, one, two, three, four. Can you go and start selling software with the service today? Type one. If you are confident that you can set up a simple calendar and a landing page, you can go set up today. Or you can just sell the CRM and have a monthly subscription. That's number three. If already clients are using some other software, can you also add on something and have a premium feature? Okay,
So a couple of things that I want to just clarify with you, Dr. Priya. When
sure.
you say SWAS, that is software with a marketing service of some kind, right? So it's
Correct.
basically a combination of a subscription and a one-off, right?
Correct.
Now the setup. So before I go to the setup, is it favorable for you to have a Trojan horse offer that's close to the revenue line
Yeah,
of the business,
definitely.
or
There
is
are
it
different ways to do that.
okay?
So if 10K is your goal monthly revenue, you can reverse engineer from there. Do I want to have a 5K setup fee and just sign two clients for that month? Or do I have $1,000 offer and sign 10 clients on social media marketing and SEO?
Got it. Got it. I guess my question is, when I say close to the revenue line, does the offer need to be something that impacts their revenue directly and attributable, or can it be something that is like social media planner or something that it may not necessarily attribute to dollars in the bank account that month,
Yeah.
versus like here's leads and we're going to generate 25K from 100 leads that we're going to send you. Like what are Trojan horses that you like because of that?
It really depends on the clients. There are some clients who just want visibility. For them, posting consistently 3 days a week is huge. They just want that consistent posting. They're not expecting leads because they understand they're not throwing money on ads.
Got
All
it.
right. But there are a few clients who are like, I'm paying you a grand, I need 10 leads. Right.
Yeah,
So,
got it.
depending on what they would find as a win and will continue paying your invoices next month.
Got it. Got it. And then the setup fee what I notice is that you include a marketing service of some kind with your setup fee. That's rather new for me. Usually somebody will just charge a setup fee just to charge a setup fee. I've seen guys like Nick Robbins who would provide a $400 or $1,000 consultative hour or basically like a blueprint for the business for a whole year, 1 year blueprint that includes in the setup fee. But I haven't seen a lot of people provide a landing page or a website or a full-on marketing service that includes in the setup fee a lot.
Yeah, that's when they get quick wins. So I always think about how can they get results. So when they get results, most of my current clients and recurring revenue is from my active current clients.
Hmm,
So I'll tell you how that whole growth flywheel we implement with case studies and examples. And that's why it's easy to work with the same clients and build that long-term relationship. And I believe that's where I think I've done well compared to others having churn. And I jinxed myself, Paulson, the big client that I spoke about at Dallas. I mean, she shut down her business due to some personal issues, but I was like, that's a huge jinx. Like that was a big case study that I showed, but it happens,
right. Yeah.
yeah. Mm,
There's voluntary churn and involuntary churn, right? What we can
right.
control is the voluntary.
That's right.
So
So
let's
I
keep
believe I
going.
answered
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
question. There was a question about SWAS and monthly subscription. So
Yes.
monthly subscription is what they pay for the software. You don't have to lift a finger. They get access to the high level CRM and they can pay high level directly the $97 if they are signed up as an agency, or if they are a sub account under your agency, you can charge a monthly subscription just for the software. Whereas if you're offering a service on top of the software, that's when it becomes a SWAS. like you can manage their Google business profile and post on their Google business profile. You can manage social media marketing. You can offer SEO. You can offer anything. So that becomes software with a service. You're not just giving them a software, off they go. You're also offering a service. And this way, I think if people want to do marketing services, you position yourself above the offshore VAs. Because one challenge that I found when I started done for you social media marketing is people started comparing my services with a $5 offshore VA. Right. So I think the struggle is real when people are forced to compare and race to the bottom pricing strategies because of offshore people who can afford it. But the way you position yourself higher is by providing your clients access to this platform that can do so much more than just what they signed up for. Okay, I don't turn off any features for anyone, even on my basic plan. I want them to go in and explore the possibilities of the platform. So they come back to me and say, "Hey, Priya, I saw someone else do this. Can you do this for me? Hey, I just explored that feature. That's not working. Can your team fix that for me?" Right? So really, really simple. Like Marcus is right. I've got a very simple system. I don't complicate stuff. My brain works with simplicity. And people like, it's too good to be true. I'm like, it is true. And this is how we have done. I can show you the numbers. I can show you the books. I can show you our framework. And this is what we do. It's very, very simple. And, but you grow step by step. And also, I think predominantly my struggle is everything is in my head. So I now we've got procedures that we're offloading as SOPs and different team members stepping up in different roles. But I actually killed myself for the first 18 months because everything was in my head and my business was completely dependent on me. Right. And they just pay you as an offshore VA because that's right. The struggle is real. All right. Let's
Now, as you pull up your slides there, Dr. Priya, do you white label or do you tell people that you're built on top of high level?
No, I'm very much against people concealing the fact it's high level. I'm like, it's a billion-dollar company with the infrastructure, team, and everything. Why would you not latch on to that, the reputation that they've built? So you see all my branding everywhere on socials. I say I'm a high-level certified admin. I've got 497 SaaS. I've white labeled it to Pivot to Thrive, but I always say it's high level, but we have customized it to do certain things.
Got it. Cool.
And that's one thing that I find people feel very deceived, because some people don't say it's high level and then they come and say, Priya, this is what I'm paying this. They didn't tell me it's high level. I'm like, okay, that's a personal choice by the business owner, and you don't trash talk others people. It's a small world and everyone talks to everyone, so please don't trash talk your fellow high levelers. It's a beautiful community. Okay.
It is.
All
I mean, we
right.
saw this in the WordPress world, right? Now,
Yeah.
if you go to a small business owner, they'll ask you if you're building a website, they will say, make sure it's built on top of WordPress. They'll make that request. And we see that with high level now. If you're going to build up automations for me, can you make sure it's on high level, right? Those are requests that we see often. And sometimes the small business owners will be part of your world, like they see you as a high level expert and they're okay with that. um but great, let's keep going.
Cool. All right.
And
All
by the
right.
way, you don't have to stop sharing when we're chatting. We can just chit chat as we go because I'm seeing the comments and I
Yeah.
just want to make sure I'm playing devil's advocate sometimes.
Sure.
But great. Someone said you
All right.
tell them you build on top of high level. Yes, that's what we're
That's
doing
right.
now.
I do tell.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so how many of you are in this state waiting for that golden day for all your ducks to line up, right? So, this is one big mistake we see normally in every business world, especially in the high level world, because there's so much information. Okay, there's so much information, there's so many things to focus on, you get confused, and everybody, waits for all the ducks to line up, right? So if you're guilty, even if you're not sharing this, I want you to know I'm sorry to disappoint you. That golden day is not going to come, right? So you are not going to have all the ducks lined up. So there's one of my friend, mentor, who says, just launch F asterisk ugly. right? So it can be ugly. All you have to do is just launch. And there are so many people that I've seen successful. Their landing page will be crap. It's not a pretty looking landing page, but they're minting money, right? So it really depends on what you want. So at this stage, when you're starting out, when you're launching, I would say just focus on selling. Selling is the key. In the high level world, there are two different types of people. We did this exercise in Sydney, right? Who
Yes.
are you? You remember, Paulson?
This was awesome. Yes,
Yeah,
it's coming back to me.
it's a great exercise to understand your strength. Are you the visionary or are you the builder? Okay, obviously I am the visionary. I'm a certified admin. I can build workflows, but do I choose to build workflows? No, not unless someone is dying. I do not go into the workflows. I go if I go and mess up stuff, my team will get really mad at me, so I don't do it, right? I just focus on selling. So right from my business mentoring days, this was my mantra, right? You sell first, you create next, because you do not wait for all the ducks to line up. You have an offer. We have this huge advantage of internet where you can test your offers and pivot. My business is called Pivot to Thrive. That's my official registered business in Australia, Pivot to Thrive Private Limited. Because one thing that I see more in the online business world, if something is not working, you don't quit, you pivot, right? I can go on Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube and launch something today. Okay, no one bought. What do I do? I change the offer. Next day, I launch something else, right? So there are beautiful ways, easy ways, smart ways to sell before you create. I've seen hundreds of entrepreneurs create pretty courses, and by the time they finish everything, they've lost their momentum, they've lost their interest, their cash flow goes down, and then they have no interest to sell. Instead, what do we do before we launch a course? We go to the internet and say, hey, I'm planning to launch a course for high level agencies on how to scale to 10K MRR. I'm going to do it for a beta price of 297, normal being 997. If you're interested, let me know. So if even if one person pays you 297, that's the evidence it's worth you sitting down and creating that course, right?
Mm.
So this is always my mantra. Do not create every pretty stuff on the internet and then go to the market and sell, because the market has not validated. You believe this is what people want, but the market has not validated that idea. Okay.
Dr.
So,
Priya, do you agree that this is psychological warfare, right?
yes,
This
yes,
is really hard to do because typically, especially in the beginning, you don't know if what you're selling is going to be wonderful and great like you imagine. You're typically afraid of what the customers are going to tell you. So my thought is to just be completely honest with them, right? Completely be transparent that you're launching this for the first time, or that you have a certain expectation. This is not all perfect and pretty. A lot of times people position it as if it's perfected, and then they go
exactly.
sell it, and then they catch backlash, right? Can you share your thoughts on that?
Yeah, when I started, I told people I'm selling a half baked cookie. I was very honest. I told people, hey, I'll tell you this example where we go into that case study. I told people I'm on a free trial. I'm trialing this tool. I know this can do this, but we're going to see. We're going to work this together. We're going to check this together. And if they ask a technical question, I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to this question, but I'm going to check with the team and come back to you. Being honest and telling them that you don't know will really help you. Or you can say, I know the tool can do it, but I'm going to check if this exact feature, how you want it, can be done. Right. So I think being honest really, really helps in telling them, hey, I'm learning, I'm launching, this is something I'm trialing, this is great. It's worked for everybody else, but I'm still not sure. But I've got teams that can do it better than me. I tell people I'm not the expert when it comes to building. That's why I hire teams who are good at that. I'm just going to check with my team and come back. Right. It actually positions you better because you're honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So this is where we started when, in the mentoring world, if I had to give you an advice, this would be my advice. Sell first, create next. Now, in the high level world, this is how it's become, right? If you're good at selling, you just focus on selling and find out an implementation partner who can build it for you, who can take care of your tech stuff. If you're good at building, hire people who can do selling for you. who can do great webinars for you, who can go and speak to business owners, who can actually be appointment DM setters. So, the first thing today is to understand, what do you love doing? A lot of people, if I say, do you love sales? There's not a lot of hands going up in the air, right? And I'm that weirdo. I love sales, right? I love selling. And I can make it more non-pushy and non-salesy by just articulating, what do I bring to the table and how can I solve this problem for you? So that's why it becomes more attraction marketing, where it becomes an inbound sale and not me being pushy and salesy, right? So basically, when you start and thinking about any offer, I want you to have this mindset that I should just sell. That's the evidence it's working, and then go back and create. In the high level world, if you can't build, look at people who can build and hire them. Okay, one thing that helped me early on is I had team member even before I started signing clients. This is back 5 years ago. I had a VA to do my stuff, and I paid them from my day job because my time was worth it. Time equals money. That's the base of everything that I do. So I started hiring and delegating from early on. In the high level world, this is the major problem we see, is people trying to go and fiddle with workflows, fiddle with landing pages when their time is much more than that. So please value your time and see what is your time worth. Have a dollar value for every hour of your time. Okay, you're not doing it for free just because you're not hiring an offshore VA for $10 an hour. It's $100 an hour. If you it's that's your worth your time, you're wasting instead of hiring $10 an hour, right? It's purely a mindset shift on how you are leveraging your time to do this.
So what do you say to the people that feel like they're good at both?
That's a very rare breed, right? But I would still say, find out which one of that is a top priority that scale. And I mean, my personal opinion, if you're sitting and building, I don't think you can scale because you are in that deep building phase. So I would say, focus on selling, hire a team to build, because that's something that you can leverage. But selling requires more positioning, authority. It's your baby. And I don't think others would have that much investment in growing the business as much as you.
I agree. And as you scale, if you chase two rabbits at the same time, you probably won't
Correct.
catch either one. And when people say I'm good at both, I often assume they're probably 80% or 70% at both. They're not
Yeah.
100%, right? So let's keep going.
Cool. All right. Selling equals serving. That's right, John. That used to be my tagline earlier. All right. I want to officially welcome you all to my favorite Power Pivot framework. So, like I said, I'm a teacher. I love simplifying stuff. I don't like complicating things. So, we're going to look at this framework. Power is an acronym. So we're going to look at two power acronyms, one today, one tomorrow. Today is all about launch and sell, right? So we are in the sales machine. I want to come back to that. So today, all we're looking at is, how can we sell? How can we sell? How can we sell more of what we like? How can we sell of more of what we love doing? How can we sell more to get to our revenue goal? It could be 10K, 20K, 30K, 100K, whatever you want. So I believe businesses that don't hit their revenue goals have gaps in one or more of these. Okay, simple. Either they're not very clear about their product and pricing, what they're selling, how much they're selling it for. Second is, it should be the other way, online and offline presence. Their online social media and their offline positioning, like their business cards, do not align with what they're selling. Like, how many times you've gone and shaked hands with somebody and they said they were a business coach and the Instagram is full of fitness videos. You're like, are you a fitness coach or a business coach? Right? So your online and offline positioning should match what you're selling, right? There might be a gap in that. And then there has to be a journey, a pathway from the first touch point for a prospect until they become your paying client and a raving client, a returning client. There has to be a pathway. So from that first touch point, how do you convert them into a warm leads? Do you have strategies in place to do that? So there is a gap there. Okay. And then this is the big one. You won't believe the number of people who do not have a payment processor on their landing page and website to take money from people. I'm like, why would you not have that? So, do you actually have a sales process to take money from people? That is The E, evaluate your sales process. And the next one, if you're just selling one off, you every month, every day, every week, you're going to look for new leads, right? So that's why we focus on retention. We focus on retainer packages so we can actually sell, retain, and be happy and not keep chasing for new leads. Okay. So this is the Power Pivot framework. We're going to look at each and every one with examples and a beautiful snapshot. But today, as we speak, where do you find is the biggest gap in your current operation? What is missing? What do you want to work today? After this workshop, I want to go work on my product and pricing because that's missing. I don't have a good online and offline presence. I don't have a lead gen pathway. Like lead warm up pathway, lead nurture pathway. I don't have sales process. I don't have retainer package. What is it in your current operations?
Dr. Priya, I love this acronym. Power, I just realized, stands for product and pricing, online, offline resources, then warm lead generation, and then sales process after that, and then retarget and retain customers, right? That's a
Yeah.
great way to remember what you have. So, in your sales interactions, do you teach this to your prospects in the beginning and ask them, hey, are there any gaps here that you might feel like you could identify?
Yeah, so we have an intake or an onboarding form in which they complete the questions related to each of this, and that gives me an indication of where is the gap and what
Mm,
needs to be fixed.
I love that. Okay. We've got Jesse saying lead generation, Andrew saying lead generation pathway. So Teresa saying online presence, Clay says pricing. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, so mostly a bit of everything. All
Yeah.
right. Would posting process with a page create window shoppers? I've been told his thoughts. Now, I believe people like honesty, and if they would just want a window shop, they're not your ideal clients anyway, so I wouldn't worry about them. Um, yeah, so that's how I see it. Okay, I think I lost my window, Paulson.
You're good. We see that you're sharing the slides here.
Okay, now I think I moved this one here. The joy of dealing with four monitors. Okay, I think I got it. Okay, there we go.
All right.
Cool.
Great.
All right. So, yeah, like I said, all of this is done in terms of different snapshot elements. So, in terms of product and pricing, in the snapshot, I've given a landing page with a product that you can tweak it to whatever you want. And then, in terms of online and offline presence, I've given comment automation on Facebook and Instagram. And in terms of warm lead generation, we've got a nurture sequence. If someone gets on a sales call and does not sign up immediately, then you put them into a nurture sequence. Obviously, we have payment processes to get money from people. And then tomorrow, we're going to look at a 30-day retention blueprint on how you can retain. So, all of this, what we're discussing, is in the form of snapshots. All right, cool. So, product and pricing. So, this is where I want to talk about the case study, which I jinxed. Right? But it is still true. It happened. So I'm going to share it. So this was back in the day when I was trialing HighLevel in April 2024. And I went to a ClickFunnels event, right? And there, people were, teaching people to build funnels. I used to be in ClickFunnels, so I know how it works. I love the sales funnel psychology. And I was in that table. We were like 6 or 8 of us, and I was teaching everyone how to build it because I didn't want to build it in ClickFunnels, but I was telling people I'm trialing this new thing, but I'm going to teach you. So I was helping them, and it was a paid event. It was a 10K for 3-day paid event. The upsell that the person was doing was an 18K done for you funnel offer. So there was this mom and son, combo. I mean, the attendees, they went to that upsell meeting came back and said, Priya, he wants to charge me 18K. I know you can do the same, but I know you're trialing something, and I don't care what tool you're using, but I want this built in that tool. You told me that tool can build for you. And she transferred like 5 grand. She said, I'm going to pay you 5 grand. At that time, 5 grand was massive, right? You just started with free trial. And when you don't expect to sell, and this is something that I lead by, value before dollars. Even before you charge or invoice or send them a proposal, the should give them value. And that's how I structure my sales call. Every sales conversation I have is they will get value irrespective of they're going to sign up and work with me or not. So I tell them this: you don't have to work with me, but these are the things you have to look out for. These are the things you'll have to do. Right. So I think that's what landed my first sale with that client. Okay. So we started building her landing page. We launched it for her. And then obviously they had no social, I mean, they were not posting consistently. They had social media presence. They were not posting consistently. So I told her, hey, we can do social media for you and we can start posting. So she didn't want leads, right? She wanted presence and consistency. So we had a marketing retainer package, organic social media marketing across different platforms. So there is a marketing retainer that comes. And then she was paying Shopify when there was no, online sales component. It's an ice cream shop where people come to the shop front. So she was paying huge money for Shopify when I think she was getting 2.5 US every year for her hosting. She was like, I don't want to do this. Can you rebuild this? So that was another upsell, a one off setup fee. So you can see how that whole growth wheel cycle comes. They pay for a setup, you have a retainer, they keep paying every month. So instead of focusing on the MRR, we all start with MRR and then it goes to lifetime value of a client, LTV. So right now we focus on LTV. Like yesterday, a client from Sydney told me, "Oh, Priya, I want to do this." He gave me a scope. There was not much that I could charge. I didn't know how to price it. There were a few tweaks to the existing webinar that we did long time ago. I'm like, you know what, just we're just going to do it. We delivered that webinar for him, and this morning he sent me an email that he wants another work done and he wants a scope. So there are ways, it's like the tire shops, like most of the tire shops that car service center we go, if it's a small job, they won't charge you, right? And because it's not worth their time, you don't pay a lot of time and resource in investing to do that, but they eventually come back to you. I go to that, my car service guy, because he didn't charge me for that little tire fix that he did not do. So similarly, when clients come, if there is a small job, we just do it. But if there's a size like a website rebuild, obviously we can't do it for free, then there is a setup fee. Okay. And then the retainer continues. And then what happened last year during winter, the sales dropped. Then we launched a loyalty program like a coffee card option, right? And then we launched a picnic pack. So you because I have these multiple touch points with the clients in terms of growth strategy calls, and I'm going to talk to you about my email newsletter where they have that touch point with me. Then there's these multiple touch points without me actually putting in that effort. It's all in the workflow, right? Every client, when they sign up, you can assign them a particular tag and have a workflow automation. So all this we are going to look at tomorrow in retention, how you can have workflows to work for you, to make your customer feel like you're having that multiple touch points with them, right? So it becomes an ongoing partnership until she shut her doors. Okay. So case it,
So,
I don't want to. Yeah.
oh no, go ahead, finish your thought.
Then I just wanted to say that I'm known for being too honest and upfront for a South Indian girl, right? So the marketing world we live in. There's a lot of BS around. So and a lot of people fall for lots of claims and lots of hype. And if someone on a webinar tells you I made $90,000, $120,000 in 24 hours, that's wrong. That's just a hype. The 5 years what they worked and positioned themselves, and when they launched in a webinar, they sold that 100K. So it's not that. So it could be a great marketing message, I had a 100K launch in 24 hours, but it's 5 years of their efforts. So I want you to take things that you see on social media with a grain of salt, do your due diligence, and always adapt all these pricing product strategies to your thing. So none of this was a framework that I followed, right? All I was thinking was, how can I keep this client happy? How can I make this client pay me more? How can I make this client, keep getting more results,
I
right? So
love
I
that.
think that is where I'm going with this.
I love that. So, Dr. Priya, if I'm starting out and I'm watching today's webinar, I'm hearing what you're saying. Can you potentially help put numbers to this? Like, could you just tell me what I should charge? Like, what should I charge for a setup? What should I charge for a retainer? What should I charge for these, free add-ons or services until that I feel comfortable with like an upsell? What are some numbers that I like you would suggest? Or even, I mean, obviously every industry is different, every sales process is different, every scope is different, but like what is the range I should even shoot for?
I would say the number that you can say confidently, right? The energetic alignment. If I used to shiver to say $1,000, right? I was not confident people would pay me $1,000 because it comes down to self worth, it comes down to belief, it comes down to confidence. Now we write proposals for 5 figures, 6 figures. That's because of the confidence that I know what I bring to the table, and I'm not operating from a desperate energy. Like if I have got a cash flow problem and if I'm on a sales call with you, Paulson, I would be desperate and you can smell it from there. Right.
Hmm.
So I think all of these little body language and things adds up in people assessing how confident you are. When I talk on a sales call, this is how I talk, right? There's no monetary ones involved in the conversation until the end. I'm going to give you everything, you can go do it yourself. I'll give them everything on a sales call. This is what you can do. This is the gap I feel. You can do one, two, three, right? This is how you do. I give them everything on a sales conversation. This is how you do it. This is what you do it, and this is what you will get. However, if you want my team to do it, this will be the pricing, and I'll send you a proposal.
Got it.
So I think it depends how you want to position it. But it's interesting. There are some people who feel if you charge less, that there's something wrong. Like if a Benz is priced for $1,000, obviously, like what's wrong, right?
Right.
So it is a slight, very very thin line on how you identify. And always you have to say to an offshore VA that charges $5 an hour, but this is what I bring to the table, that positioning. So for me, I think the positioning is, you get the best of both worlds. Because I've got an offshore team, our prices can be very, very competitive, but you still get the strategy from an Australian registered business. So I understand the culture, I understand the business. So it's not like you're dealing with someone completely offshore who doesn't understand the market and industry.
Got it.
Yeah. So hope I answered that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Let's keep going.
okay. All right. I hope you get some good food, Mark, marrying a South Indian girl.
That's always a plus.
Yes, that's right. Okay, this is your answer to your question, Paulson. So it could be anything ranging from 297 to 497 just to get your foot in the door. And then a monthly retainer can be for 500 to $1,000. Upsells can be anything. So, till 9,997. But considering this workshop is for people who are starting out, I wanted them to feel relatable. I wanted them to believe that this is possible for me to do it, right? So if you have, say for example, if you have a setup fee for $1,000 or $500, you need 5 clients to get 2.5, and then the remaining will come from retainers. So always reverse engineer from your goal. So I always do that for every quarter. What is my revenue goal, and how do I break it down? So it usually comes down to I need one client per 1.5 weeks. That's kind of my number. So I just need one new client in less than 2 weeks, and I'm good for my income goal, right? Because we've got this MRR coming. This is our goal, and how do we do it? So you just have to make your brain believe that this is possible. If I look at a ridiculous number, I want to make $5 million this year, my brain will be like, "Are you insane? Are you crazy?" But if I break it down and say, I just need 2 clients that pay me 20K in a month. That's all I need to make that number. right? Then your brain believes, oh, yeah, I can do that. So just break your income goals into bite sized goals that your brain believes that this is possible. All right. So to answer to your question, you can start anywhere. This is just a guide, but people charge way more depending on how comfortable you are to say this. When you say that number, you have to believe in your bones that it's going to give them 10x return on investment. If someone pays me a grand, they have to get 10 times return on their investment. So that's kind of
Yeah. It's
how we.
also it's also important that your revenue concentration is not too shallow, right? You don't want one customer paying 70% of all of your income, right? Like
Exactly.
that's a very dangerous position to be in. And the opposite, you don't want to be so low in your pricing and you're delivering, let's say you're charging $50 a month, but every client you're having to deliver $1,000 worth of services, right? You don't want to do the opposite either, where you're running down, a McDonald's model and they're expecting a gourmet burger, right? So
Correct.
um, both extremes you have to kind of watch out for.
Yeah. I think with pricing, I made a very, very expensive mistake when we launched a membership for a client. It came off, she was an existing client. Priya, I just want to launch a course. I'm like, okay, that's a course. Gave her a quote, started working. Eventually, it ended up being a membership with 11 digital products in it. So it was the most expensive mistake that I made. And after that, I mean, my proposals were very, very detailed. How many funnels, how many upsells, what are the things? So you learn. And I don't think these mistakes are avoidable. You still have to
Yeah.
go through your journey. But I would just be very careful with people say, oh, it's just one funnel, Priya. I'm like, oh, maybe not. So you just have to do your due diligence. So like I said, I don't build, I hire people. My team is based in 4 different countries, predominantly in India, and my team will be joining me in high level India. So that's exciting. We're
Sweet.
gonna have
We'll be there in
10 days.
maybe 2 weeks. Yeah, not
Yeah,
even. Yeah, I think the 22nd, our
that's right.
flights, most of our flights to India is happening. Reminds me, I need to start packing soon.
That's right. Okay, so the next is the important one, the online and offline presence. I mean, I've got a love hate relationship with social media, but pretty much I've built my entire business using social media. So we're going to look at some simple automations and strategies with online and offline. So online, like I said, I can walk you through the snapshots once we finish this, but simply by having a comment automation, which is a native feature of high level, you don't have to pay ManyChat. You can automate your comments and DMs in Facebook and Instagram, and basically um, nurture that lead or convert them, send them a landing page. You can do whatever you want. So that is the first simple concept. When people launch, they think about everything fancy, right? So you can literally have a template landing page. We have lots of templates in high level. You can tweak that template. It might look ugly the more customizing you make, so make little changes, and then a simple contact form. You can have a calendar, or you can have a two-step checkout. All of this is part of your snapshot. All right. So this is in terms of online. When someone looks at my social media, for people who say social media does not work for me, Priya, I will go and audit your social media and check whether you have a post that is focused towards conversion, right? Are you posting a motivational post? Or are you just posting something and there's no call to action, right? So you have to audit your strategy, whether your online presence complements or adds to your profile, whether it actually really speaks who you are and what you do, right? And then your offline, that's interesting. I mean, I don't have a lot of business cards here, but usually on your desk you'll have lots of business cards, right? If you are part of any of the networking groups like BNI, chambers of commerce, or any networking group that you attend, this is going to be gold. You want to listen to this very carefully. This is one thing that you can sell easily today. All right. So I was part of BNI until mid last year, and it really helped me get more Australian clients. So with BNI or any networking groups you go, you take lots of business cards. It lies on your desk. It doesn't get to your CRM. There's nothing that happens. So we did a simple automation, right? In high level app, you've got this native feature where you can scan a business card, and it extracts your name, phone number, and email. Not always correct, so please double check. Once you extract the name, email, and phone number, you save it and then you add a tag. I had a tag called BNI Network. And once you add BNI Network, it'll send an email. Hey, Paulson, it was lovely to meet you at BNI this morning. This is a little bit about what I do. And I would love to know more about your business. And I would like to book a one-to-one, because that's the lingo, that's the language that people use in BNI. You have to be very careful when you craft your email. It has to be personalized. It says, hi, Paulson, lovely to meet you at BNI this morning. So it's very, very personal. And then it has your calendar link to book a one-to-one.
Yeah.
Okay. When you're talking to people, it takes 10 seconds to scan, add a tag, and while they're talking to you, they get your email in the inbox. Okay. What does it do? It does two things. One, it is a demo of what the tool can do in 10 seconds. And the next thing, they get added to the CRM, and you tell them, hey, I've got a Monday morning newsletter that comes every Monday. And if I'm too much, feel free to unsubscribe. No offense taken. So you're getting the permission to add them to your marketing. And then that's how they get nurtured. And when people see this, there are lots of BNI members and visitors who have asked me, Priya, can you set this up for me?
Mm.
I'm paying for MailChimp. Okay. And you're like, you just pay $97, you get this and so much more. And that's when you start, talking about the tool. But one problem you're solving is all these business cards that lands in your handbags and tables that never gets to your CRM. That's one clear problem. So this is my foot in the door offer for BNI visitors, right? So you can segment your offers depending on the audience. That's why I said I haven't niche down yet, because there are all these people trickling through multiple channels for different problems, different things. So anything in the high level world, we do it. We are the fulfillment partner for high level. That is our brand positioning now. Anything you want to do in high level, we can do it for you. We've got teams that specialize in different things. So really, if you are struggling, breaking your head, pulling your hair with niches, I would say don't stress.
I love that because a lot of times people over focus on the niching, over focus on, yes, I mean, I'm with you. Having one offer, one delivery, one fulfillment, one sales process. Yes, we're all familiar with that. At the same time, you're removing 90% of the rest of the market, right? You're just saying, I'm only going to focus on one. So in the beginning, I encourage people to just be open, go after multiple industries, have a certain focus, like focus on small business owners, or like Dr. Priya, focus on high level as her own industry, right? Or her niche. Like some people just do a feature, they just do reviews or landing pages as their main thing, or AI web chat as their main thing that they stand for and brand it that way. So I agree that there needs to be a focus, but at the same time, I don't recommend saying no to customers who are wanting to pay you.
Exactly, exactly. So for people who are asking, where do you find that? It's basically inside the high level app. You go to high level or lead connector, whatever you have. And I'm like, every time I come in, there's a surprise because the interface has changed. I'm like, where do I find the contacts? And then you go into the contacts tab and you click on a plus, and you get add contact and scan business card. It's a native feature that all of you have access to. And like I said, these are simple things. You don't need fancy stuff. And this is why when people come to me for all the fancy stuff, I'm like, you're going to be disappointed because it's really simple. You just do this one thing and it's one workflow, tag added is a trigger, send an email, and that's it, and then
Yeah,
you add them into your nurture sequence. People think it has to be complicated. No, team, it need not be complicated, right?
yeah,
If you're very clear that, okay, they come to me with a problem, I'm going to solve their problem. That's all. Whatever is a problem,
yeah,
go with an open mind. Don't go thinking I have to sell them AI receptionist. They might not want an AI receptionist,
yeah,
unless if you want to niche down, and if your industry is that's a different scenario. Here we're talking about people who have no idea what they're selling, where they want to sell, how to make money. So for you, just go with an open mind, clearly listen to what they're saying and solve that one problem what they have. Do you have all these business cards lying around? What do you do? I mean, I pay $5 to my son to scan it and add it to a tag. I literally did that, right? So you can literally be resourceful, all right, with what you have. Like today, with whatever I mentioned, you can literally go sign one client today. If you do that, I'll be super proud of you. Come back tomorrow and tell me that.
I love it. Just make sure you don't add all the spices in the kitchen cabinet into one dish.
That's
That's
right. I
that's the way
always
to go.
say my high level account is like an Indian masala, which is a spice blend, but not balanced. Like it's everywhere. It's not the pretty one.
Let's keep going. So warm lead generation.
Correct. So when it comes to warm lead generation, I want to give this marketing principle by Google, right? When I heard this for the first time, it's like you have to interact, a prospect has to interact with your brand for 7 hours, have 11 touch points or engagements on 4 different platforms. And I went, how do I do this without killing myself? Right. So it seems like a lot. But when you do it right with the system, with high level in your back pocket, it becomes much more achievable, right? You've got social planner where you can schedule a year's worth of content. Like literally the reason I made the switch was because we were using 10 different tools. Like I told you, even for my team to get approval from me or my client, we had to use another tool. To put it all together and schedule it, we had another tool. So if you have all these different platforms, just add everything to high level, including Google review, Google My Business Profile, and you can start posting consistently. So people see you there. That's one touch point. Okay. If you post on stories, which is great, like I don't post consistently on my feed, but stories is where I get all my engagement and clients because that's where you build relationships. So if you're posting on stories, that's another engagement. If you have a newsletter, that's another engagement. If they meet you in a webinar or in person event, that's very quickly you will click all these rules in terms of you know, the system to smash all these three. So in the snapshot, I've given a 7 day sequence where first day you welcome them, day two is you ask them if they've completed the onboarding. So the first 7 to 14 days is very, very crucial, right? So what I've given is a 7 day email template. You can plug it in whatever you want, but you have those multiple touch points. So the stickiness of your client becomes very, very strong. So the reason we are very strong in retention is because of our onboarding calls. So our team does the onboarding where we really set them up. So the onboarding call itself is worth $500 to $1,000 because we set up everything: their email domains, their branded domains, their landing page domains, everything, calendars.
You're
So if
housing
they're
them basically. You're housing them.
sorry.
You're housing them into the system.
Correct. That's right. So we set them up for success. So we tell them what they want. And that onboarding call is an opportunity for my team to understand this client will get massive value if we just implement that BNI automation. And those are bonuses that we offer to clients. If we feel that'll get them quick wins, that's a bonus. So when I draft the proposal, I always have surprise bonus elements planned in my head that I mark in our sheet.
Mm.
So when we do that, so it's always you under promise and over deliver, right? And those are simple things that we already have in our kitty that we can just release it and they'll get results. So when you think about the warm lead generation, I want you to think about workflows and automations that you plan. Okay, I want someone to click here, download my ebook, and then get these emails for the next 7 days. Right, so they get warm, and when they come to you, they're actually hot and they just want to buy. So there is no sales conversation. They're just trying, okay, if you're the right fit and what's the price and when do you deliver, right? Okay, so that's the warm lead generation. And like I said, evaluating sales process is nothing but, do you have a payment process to take money from people? That's all it is all about, right? So the example that I give is retreat pages in Bali that I find beautiful, pretty. I want to just sign up, plan my travel, and book my flights. They'll give me a Calendly link to speak to them. I'm like, why do I have to speak to you? I mean, I just want to pay and plan, right? So allow or give your clients an opportunity to pay if they're ready to pay. And I think to answer someone's question earlier, there are a lot of people who think that I should not have a number there that will turn people away. If that's going to turn people away, then they're not your ideal clients, anyways. And to get to that stage, I know it takes time. I didn't have my prices up from the get go. I had that same mindset, but you will get over it, right? You will know that, okay, if they don't want to pay that price, then they're not my ideal clients. I'm not going to chase them. I'm not going to really go behind them. So have a payment processor ready to basically get it. So retainer, this is what we're going to do tomorrow, really thorough and detailed, where we're going to focus on how to get these retainer revenues. So I'm going to teach you my audit system that we do to look at the big picture for the client, break all the tasks into different phases on how we can upsell and how we can get the growth flywheel happening in our business. We're also going to talk about two different aspects, which is asking for reviews, which I should follow more of, asking for reviews, using those reviews to sign more clients. We have a very strong referral pipeline, referral pathway, where our current clients refer us to other clients and get them, so you can get more repeat sales. And also, I think these days we live in a world with a lot of entitled people. Just think, I have HighLevel, why will you not buy from me? Like, we have that sense of entitlement, that I've got access to this great tool, and why will you not buy? Like, I used to be angry earlier, I mean, that's the immature Priya, who could not take a no from people who will say no to HighLevel. I'm like, are you crazy? Are you insane? Why will you not take access to the software? But then you understand that you have not done a good job in articulating what that tool can do to solve their problem. Okay. Or the other person does not really understand that this tool can actually solve their problem, or they're not ready, or genuinely they don't have the money, right? So usually we get three main objections on sales calls. So time, money, and spouse. So if it's Indians or other Asian or very spouse driven household, time, money, and spouse. I don't have time, I don't have money, I should ask my spouse or a business partner. So those three are just excuses that people give, right? So if you can actually have a proper response to those objections, then you can smash. I used to be with 20% sales conversion back in the day, which means the reason was I was getting on a call with anyone and everyone. My Calendly link was out there in the open. So there was no lead qualifier. So I had very bad close rate, so 20% or less. Now we've got 94% close rate because we pre-qualify and we make sure we are the right fit, and then we send proposals and we follow up, we nurture them, and they come back. If they're not coming back, those 6% is not my ideal client, so I'm not too stressed.
I think that's pretty good for a scientist.
That's right. Thanks for reminding me again, Paulson. I forgot about that identity of mine. Scientist. When I saw that email, I woke up on Sunday morning to that email and I was laughing. Yeah, I used to be a scientist in my past life.
I got a question for you. So, what I'm hearing from you is that you repeated, attraction marketing. So, does that mean you have inbound leads coming in based on your personal branding, or what is the source of leads for you? And can I build that for myself if I'm starting out? Like, maybe I need to do something different at the BNI or the pockets of business world that I'm going to. What makes your brand attractive to others to say, I need to talk to them?
I think it's my personal brand, and I've built it for 5 years as a side hustler, and then full time. We just finished 3 years, 4 years full time, and stepping into fifth year. And it's interesting, like I told you, I had clients all over the world, not all over the world, in other parts of the world, but I did not have a single Australian client until I joined BNI. It's interesting, isn't it? The level of skepticism in Australia to trust someone online, that's the evidence. But once you go in front of them, once you shake hands, once they trust you, they just stay with you, right? But they're very skeptical at start for obvious reasons. There are lots of scams going on, and there's lots of skepticism. And being a multicultural community, and whichever room I walk into, I'm the only woman of color, which is not in my favor. So there are additional challenges, but I never use them as a
That's true.
factor to stop
Yeah,
myself, right?
yeah.
I leverage it to my advantage. This is a key lesson for each one of you. If you are thinking, I am a new mom, I'm a single mom, I don't have support, or I'm broke, or you're comparing yourself with someone else on Instagram, use your unfair advantage. That's your unfair advantage, right? So I've got two kids, and I never say, "Oh, I've got kids, and that's why I'm not able to do what I want." So I do it. I get up every day and do this because I want to make my kids proud. I want to show them a woman can be a mom, a wife, and an entrepreneur. I can chase my dreams. I can still do it, right? And people think, "Oh, Priya, you're lucky. You've got a supportive husband." No, I fought for it, right? I cried for it. I threatened him for it. So I did everything possible to get what I want. And this is where people have to understand your partner or spouse need not understand your dream because it's your dream. Right, you have to fight for it. I mean, not fight meaning not fight and divorce and stuff, but you have to stand firm. You have to be firm because it's your dream. And I call it the bloke's brain. Right, men always, work with evidences. For them, if it works, they will support you, but until then it's going to be a challenge. So for you to actually show that evidence and show them that growth or work when they're sleeping, that's how I did. My tagline was, use your 9 to 5 to pay your bills and 6 to 10 to build your empire. That was my tagline when I was side hustling. So 2 hours before work and 2 hours after work when kids are sleeping, that's how I started building brick by brick. So whatever you're saying to yourself today is just an excuse. You're bullshitting and it's not helping you.
I
Okay,
love
I'm
it.
sorry.
This is all true. I think there's a lot of perspective here that you're sharing, Doc. The perception is reality, right? There's a lot of people that feel like they have to have everything in place, so they're not good at sales. What's funny is people that are not good at sales are typically better at sales because their genuine spirit comes out in the sales cycle. They'll literally will connect with the audience or the prospects a lot better because they're not too salesy, right? Because the best salespeople are simply the best listeners. That's what it comes down to, right? Dr. Priya, is there anything else you want to share for day one that we haven't covered? I know we just went through the power
How are
pivot.
we tracking time, Paulson?
So we are right on time currently.
Hmm.
Um, so if you want to take another 10 minutes to finish some thoughts, we can, and we can close out for the day.
Okay,
And then
so
tomorrow we'll do around the same time, but tomorrow we'll do a Q&A as well.
okay. All
Yeah.
right. See, this is my problem. I struggle to shut up. Okay, so how will they get access to these snapshots?
So we'll make sure the team makes all that available for them in a
Yeah.
link in a resources folder. So whether they are an existing user or brand new that jumped into a trial because of this event, we'll make sure the snapshots and everything is available to them on a folder that our team will comment as soon as we're done. Plus, when they registered, they should have gotten an email with that as well. So if you look at any of your emails that you used to register for the event, you should see it then as well.
Okay. So I thought I'll offer them, all the snapshots and a
Yeah,
document on how they can change the custom value. And
perfect.
also if they want to come to the group onboarding and get help, that can also be done. So like I
Sweet.
said, we are all here to help. So you can ask Paulson, the high level team, or myself, whatever you want. And tomorrow probably I'll run through the snapshots first, for
Okay,
both.
perfect.
I think that'll help people to understand. So today, I think I want to challenge, or with lots of tough love, that I want you to take action. Either it could be one simple business card scanner, go and implement that, or pick up the phone, go through your phone book, and look at your contacts, look at your clients, look at your friends and family, and tell them that, hey, I've started looking into this tool. Looks like it can do so much. Can I do your marketing for you? Can I do your emails for you? Can I build a landing page for you? So can I just post on your Google business profile? Can I get you more 5-star reviews? Do you know AI can actually respond to it? So there's so much that you can do with this platform. So have your blinders on. Don't look at other people's life. Like, I'm not a content consumer. I don't look at other people's life. I just put my blinders on and I work. And I think that is my piece of advice for each and every one of you. There's so much advice in the market, there's so much noise. So if you just want to focus, take the next 90 days. That's all I can focus. I always break it down into 90-day chunks every quarter. So 90 days, what is your revenue goal? What do you want to do? And then reverse engineer from there and break it down. Like I said, it need not be hard. All you have to do is just take action. There's so much advice that's free. Action is what makes it different, what will make you successful. So I want each and every one of you to go take action today. Anything you want, please ask. Definitely happy to help in any way I can for you to get the ball rolling. May 2026 be your best year. So go back to the recording, watch everything, do your homework, and tomorrow I'll ask you. I'm a teacher, Indian teacher, right? So I'm gonna ask you tomorrow, did you take action? And also, we're gonna look at retention and all the fancy snapshots that I've built for you.
I love it. So we'll see you tomorrow, everyone, around the same time. Typically, we do these workshops in the morning, US time, but because Dr. Priya is in Australia, she's gotten up, early morning, 6 a.m., I think, in her time to do this
Three
workshop.
o'clock. Three
Oh,
o'clock was the other one, the other timing.
oh
So
my gosh. So we appreciate your time. It's so valuable. We'll make sure we'll do the homework. We'll see you tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central Time, that's Texas time, or 4 p.m. New York time for those of you that are in the East Coast. And we'll see you tomorrow. And tomorrow we're going to go through the how to retain the clients as
correct.
easily as you possibly can. I know that's one of your superpowers that I have not seen a lot of people, really explain the psychology behind all of it. So thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Paulson. Thanks, everyone. See you tomorrow.
Okay, bye for now. Catch
Bye.
the replays on YouTube, everybody. We'll have it on there for a long time.